Hey guys, Jimmy here and welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I'm going to be addressing a question that I've been asked roughly 40 billion times since the end of my racing season back in October. Of course, if you don't know, I was very fortunate this year to get to race in the Brit Car series in a Praga R1, and I've done a full video on how that was, my perspective, the highs, the lows, that you can check out in the description below. But the question that I've been asked a lot, even in the comments of the video that I just mentioned, is, well, Jimmy, what are you doing next year? Are you racing again? Are you going to be doing a different series? Are you even going to be able to get on track next year? And I've known the answer to this question for a little while now, for a wee bit, but due to various reasons, I'm not allowed just to blurt things out whenever I hear them. You have to sort of wait for the right moment. And that right moment is now. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I am super happy to finally announce that next year I'm going to be racing with Praga in the Praga Cup Series running on the Brit Car calendar. I mean, to be honest, I don't think it was a very well kept secret, of course, but the initial deal with Praga was only for 1 year, and I thought I was lucky to have that and I'd be done after that, but no. We've been chatting to them for the entire season. The guys over there have been super happy with how everything's been going, how I've been performing, and decided, you know what, we want you back next year. As for teammate, I can't really go into who that is right now, other than you'll recognise them. They've been in videos before, if it is this person. Now, you guys might not know that Praga isn't actually running in Britcar next year, or the now renamed British Endurance Championship, but we're actually running alongside them on the same programme in the Praga Cup, which is limited to only Praga R1s, which means instead of having to dodge absolute units and Ferraris and Porsches, now it's going to be just us versus other Pragas. And given how we finished off the last round at Donington last year with 2 wins, my goal for next year is to build on that as much as possible. I'm doing all I can over this little winter period. I've been really taking care of what I'm eating. I'm down the gym every other day trying to just shed that a little bit more weight, gain that a little bit more strength so I can be as fit as possible for this next season, because honestly, between you and me watching now, this year for me was a bit of a dream come true, but I was so busy with other things that I didn't quite give 100% of myself, I think, to this opportunity. If spending the winter in the gym is going to give me half a second in the car come the first round in March, then that's something that I'm more than willing to pursue, to go after. But yeah, super exciting. And again, I have to say, it wouldn't happen without the support for you guys, because the amount of support and the amount of positive feedback we've had in all those videos is something that I think is sort of unparalleled, really, outside of maybe a manufacturer like Porsche doing the whole Fassbender thing. I'm Discount Fassbender. How you doing? Magnetant. And I'm hoping next year to give you guys sort of more to, I guess, celebrate if you're fans of the team or drivers. Because last year, let's be honest, was more about just surviving. This year, for me, it's about thriving. I want to make sure that I'm at the front of the field as much as I can be. So having a team focused around that, I think, is going to be super important, and I'm really looking forward to getting things moving. But yeah, guys, I'm actually going to end off this video with a sort of secret other video, because when I went to Cheshire in November, I had the absolutely awesome opportunity to sit down with the one and only Roman Grosjean, who is actually an ambassador for Praga, if you guys didn't know, and sort of talk to him a bit about esports and sim racing and how he was starting to make his way into our little corner of the internet. I think it's really interesting to watch and listen to, so it's going to be the rest of this video. But if you guys choose to turn off here, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for just the mad support I've had over the last year, because that's definitely played a role in me getting to go racing again next year. Take care, have an awesome day, and enjoy the rest of the video. Alright man, it's great to meet you here at Praga HQ. Finally see you all face to face after a phone call that cost me far too much money. I don't think I told you about that, actually. I called you the wrong way and it cost me like €50. So,
no.
Yeah.
No way.
You owe me €50 now.
Well, you need to change your mobile provider. That's what you need to do.
Let's actually talk about relevant things and talk about sim racing and esports, because of course you are the owner of RAG, which is a sim racing team that a good friend of mine belongs to. Tell me a bit about how that started.
Well, it started, I'm going to get lost in years, April 2020. And basically I kept an eye on esports for a long time. I used to play myself, but games that most of my drivers weren't born when they were out, and then I stopped a little bit, and kept an eye, and when the pandemic hit, we were all home and we had a bit more time than we normally have. And I got a friend of mine call me and say, okay, you used to be a Formula One journalist for 14 years, then stopped and says, look, there's the opportunity to create that team. We've got already all in place, and we've got 7 drivers, and we can start with that. So I said, okay, let's do it. And then didn't really know what I was going to go into, but I really wanted to make it more professional, more pro. And now we have got 35 to 40 drivers, got a female racing team, we've got a junior team, great sponsors that are following us. And yes, it's been really fun. And more I go into it, more I realize that I can actually give some young guys, girls, the opportunity of live of their passion. I guess when you become a YouTuber, you loved it, and then it starts to be your work and your income, and that's great because that's your passion initially. And some of the esports drive the same thing. For me, same thing when I was racing. So if they can live from what they love doing, that's something I would have done pretty well.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. I mean, that's sort of a trend we're seeing now, is that a lot of people are now professional esports drivers, and some people do both. Gordy, for example, of course, my teammate at the last round at Donington, he did the weird thing where he started as a real driver, then became an esports pro, and now does both at a super high level. Do you think we're going to see more of that now as time goes on, sort of people being both good at both?
I'm convinced, yes. I'm convinced there's going to be, if you look at Max Verstappen and Lando Norris, they're part of that young generation, and on esports and the sim, they're super fast. Both of them really fast. I'm an old guy, so I'm a little bit slower. But yes, having more and more those young kids, they are born with, with the esports, the simulator, the game, and it's part of, it's growing and it's part of our society. So yes, Gordy is a good example. We've got Elliot as well, which raced in Formula 4 in the French Championship and actually won 4 races, whilst he came really from esports. And I do believe that there's a bridge we can make. I'm proud that Praga does it, with you, with some of the other guys. And yes, I think it takes some courage to do it, but it's. I really believe in it.
That's good. It's good to hear someone sort of your renown to say things like that, because I've been sort of saying stuff like that since I was a kid, but obviously no one listens to me because I'm just a guy who makes YouTube videos, so it's good to hear someone with some knowledge talking about that. Also, I wanted to kind of ask about what's the goal of RAG? I mean, you said you sort of want to try and bring people across. Are you looking to sort of have a widespread success kind of thing? Are you looking to take on all the championships and win, or is it more just just getting the message across that this is another way into racing?
No, I think there's a little bit of both. We can show that there's another way into racing through the team, but obviously we want to be successful as well. So yes, we are trying to get the best driver. We are now in pretty much every game, from PlayStation, computer, F1 esports. So we are well represented. I like that constructor come into esports more. We've seen some, but I believe constructor could come in, and then we need people that know it works, and we could represent them, and that would be great for the team. So we're trying to build something which is very strong, where we are on every platform. We can organize, we go racing with the guys top level, and then we can also organize races, championship events. We can set up simulator for circuits around the world, so people can come and have a go at it. So really, we're very open in what we can do in the future.
Yeah, awesome. Glad to hear that. My sort of next question is going to be about Indy, of course. Now, I don't know if you know this, Roman, but you're talking to the 2020 Indy 500 champion right here in iRacing. Easy win. Obviously, yeah. No, it was very scary.
Because I tried a couple of times and never finished.
Yeah, it's a bit of a lottery actually to get there. Obviously, you're now sort of taking on oval stuff, which is really exciting to hear. How are you using sims to prepare for that, or even, are you doing that, or is it just track time really to get you there?
Yeah, oval is still somewhere where we struggle a little bit in the sim to replicate it as much as we would like. Because on oval. In qualifying, Indy 500 is all flat out, so it's how much downforce you're willing to take off. And on the simulator, when the car is loose, you don't really feel it, so it's hard to judge. And then oval, the the fun part is really the racing, 'cause, between using the slipstream and different strategy, and you can do a lot, and that's where it gets really fun when you do on our racing or different games, because you play with the slipstream, you play with the guys, and you try to make your way through, and it's exciting.
If we wanted to try and race you online, I know you race under a different name online. You haven't got to tell me who it is. What series are we most likely to find you in if you're driving at home for fun?
Well, it depends. I normally practice under a wrong name, and then when I'm good enough, I go under my name. But most of the time, no, I race under my name because I like it, and I think for fans around the world, it's great. I got at one point I was a little bit, annoyed that people were always trying to overtake me in places where you can't overtake, and they would finish not great. But most of the time I'm on iRacing. I'm gonna try to compete in Le Mans 24 Hours on R-Factor 2. That may be tight.
I think I might be doing that as well, actually. I might be in it, so we might actually race each other.
Good. It's a really good car in that game. And yes, whenever we organize a competition, I'm in. So I try to be involved. Obviously, this year has been a bit more complicated. I was in the States, and now my simulator is in a container somewhere across the Atlantic.
Oh, really?
So hopefully it's going to make it in one piece without drawing. And yes, once I'm in Miami, I'm already working on the Wi-Fi setup to make sure that I've got a good connection. I can stream. I actually really enjoy streaming.
Yeah, I've seen some. They're good streams, your streams. They're always really enjoyable to watch because everyone's super happy to see you doing it.
Yeah, exactly, which is great. And I like the community. And obviously it's been a big discovery for me, but I want to do more.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you for your time, Roman. Really interesting to hear about your esports stuff, and hopefully see you on track soon.
Yes, exactly. Or if not on track on esports, that's for sure.
Awesome.